Hello everyone and welcome to today's Not So Live. I'm having technical issues getting onto live. However, let's get this show on the road, shall we? What's the biggest thing I see when people are doing lives to camera? It's the talking to a face. Now, absolutely, we are hardwired to look at faces. Great. And from an evolutionary perspective, it's very important. Now, you probably don't remember back to those days, but if you have had little people, particularly if you've been feeding either the bottle or the breast, what's the first thing they do? They look up at you. You are the source of nourishment. You are the source of life. We are hardwired to look at and remember faces. So when it comes to doing your lives, pieces to camera, of course we're going to look at the face. Except that's not where the camera is. Let's take this gorgeous thing for a minute. Now, can you see the thing that's flashing? That's where the camera is. But if I look at the face that I'm seeing on the camera, I'm looking down here, which is not where the camera is. Now, if you're holding it in portrait style, you're looking here and the camera's over here. Oh, this is why often you get people going, no. Particularly if they're on a desktop and you have more than one screen, you may have the visual of what you're looking at, the channel that you're recording to over here, whereas actually the camera's up here. And again, you get a lovely view of the side of the head. Now, the eye contact is what we're really after, isn't it? Particularly when you're doing a piece to camera. If there are other people in the room or you're on a Zoom call, something like that, when there are other people around, then of course you're going to want to look at faces. But let's go with the single, I'm doing a piece to camera. Where is the camera? We've identified it on your phone. We've identified it on your laptop. Well, how are you going to make sure that you look at the camera and not, as we've said, hardwired for the face? Well, this is where my trusty little gizmo comes in. I wonder if you can see that. It's a cutout face. We've got the eyes and a big smiley mouth. And look, I've cut that eye out. So what I suggest you do is you get your trusty phone with a bit of blue tack or something similar. You stick it to the phone. That way, you're giving eye contact with a face to the camera. What fun is that? You'll also have a bit of a smile on your face as you're doing it. It reminds you where the camera is. Now, if you want to do one for your bigger webcam, you can. Oops. There we go. You can see it. Again, it's a smiley face with the eye cut out. And you can put that over your webcam. Now it's as simple as that. It reminds you where the camera is, where to look, because it's so important to give eye contact to your audience. Now, if you are in a more than one-on-one, you have a one-on-one situation, you're actually talking to another human being, say on a Zoom call like this. Ordinarily, we would have the people side by side. I'd have me on one side and I'd have my guest on the other. And at that point, you're inevitably going to look at them, aren't you? Oh, are you giving them eye contact? No, you're not. Again, they're getting a lovely view of the side of your face. So there's a bit of a trick here. When you're on a Zoom call, one-on-one, you know, I believe it's the same with Apple, but it certainly is on a PC. If you look at the top right-hand corner of your screen, of your window, you've got the cross in the corner, which says shut the window down. You've got the square and you've got the line. Now, the line, as you know, is minimized. It's that square in the middle we're after. That's the one that enables you to tile. That then means that it's not full screen. And if you put that on speaker view, not gallery, speaker view, you have the speaker, as in you, at the top, and you have the bigger view of the person you're talking to immediately underneath. Now you can then maneuver that window to be directly underneath your camera. Now what we're then talking about is you looking directly at a camera, you flicking your eyes down to the person's face. Camera, face, camera, face. It's not a big distance. It's not a big difference. It's not like the looking at the person while you're talking to them down here. Now, obviously, we're not going to be glaring with staring and glaring at the camera, because that's a little unnerving. And if you did that to somebody in real life, they go, if you don't like it, you're invading personal space. So yes, you're going to be doing the looking and the looking away, the looking and the looking away, which is how you can get away with the looking at you, looking at the camera, looking at you, looking at the camera. It doesn't look forced, it looks natural. So those are my tips for you today. It's a very quick session, but I trust that you're going to find this. My apologies that we didn't go live. I've got some technical issues I need to sort out. And seemingly this is when I did this last session on this very topic. I had some technical issues as well. So this will not be under the live section. This will be under the recordings, but I'm going to make a big song and dance about where to find it. Okay, so this is my tip for today, how to make sure that you are giving good eye contact when you're doing a piece to camera so that people feel you're talking to them, that you are directing your attention, you're present to them, and therefore they're going to react a bit more favorably. They're going to listen because, well, I don't know who else is in the room, but you're talking to me, aren't you? It's that level of presence, that level of rapport that your audience will really appreciate. So have some fun, get your scissors out, draw a face, a bit of blue tack and stick it over your camera. That way you know you are forever going to be looking at the camera. Remember the trick with Zoom? Speaker view, tile directly underneath the camera. Go have fun with this. Experiment. Do some videos for yourself, whether you share them with other people or not. Check out the difference between when you've got a side-by-side view, when you're looking at the face without remembering where the camera is. Then do the camera bit consciously. Have a look back at the recordings. How do they compare? How does it feel for you watching? Because don't forget, it's always from the viewer's point of view. Trust this has been helpful. For now, bye from me.